6 anime, 6 overpowered protagonists, each one built different. One question: which show actually earns that power fantasy? Kicking off our list at number 6, The God of High School. The God of High School follows high school student Jin Mori and his friends as they compete in an epic martial arts tournament where participants can borrow power directly from the gods. Jin enters with a record of 297 wins and 2 draws using his self-developed renewal taekwondo, a fighting style so advanced it baffles trained military operators. The tournament promises that any wish will be granted to whoever wins, pulling together fighters of every discipline, each carrying their own desperate reason to claim that prize. What begins as a street-level brawl slowly unravels into a war involving 3 cosmic realms, secret organizations, and gods walking among humans. MAPPA animated the series, and the results speak for themselves, combat sequences that feel like they could shatter your screen. The animation alone justifies the runtime. Jin's raw, kinetic energy is infectious, and watching a teenager punch through divine barriers with sheer stubbornness never gets old. The animation is exceptional, featuring fluid movements and adrenaline-pumping fights, each offering a unique viewing experience brimming with power, with dynamic camera angles and POVs elevating every battle. Yes, the pacing is aggressive and the plot escalates without warning, but for pure spectacle, God of High School delivers a fever dream of a ride. Moving down the rankings to number 5, The King's Avatar. The King's Avatar follows Ye Shu, a professional esports player widely considered the best player of the video game Glory, who was forced to resign from his team after being stripped of his legendary account. Broke and starting over, he takes a job as a night shift internet cafe manager. When Glory launches its 10th server, Yeshu re-enters the game under a new character with 10 years of experience and a self-made weapon, aiming for the summit once more. His new account, Lord Grim, is an unspecialized class, a jack-of-all-trades that only a player of Yeshu's transcendent mastery could fully exploit. This one hits differently. The King's Avatar does not hand its MC unlimited power. It gives him knowledge, patience, and precision, and lets those qualities dismantle everyone in his path. Yeshu is known as the Glory textbook and one of the 4 master tacticians, and the show earns that title every single episode. Watching a veteran disassemble young prodigies with nothing but reading, timing, and experience is more satisfying than any magic system. It is the most cerebral entry on this list, and for viewers who want an overpowered MC that feels genuinely earned, this donghua stands alone. Dropping into the middle of our countdown at number 4, Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Urged on by her friend, Keide Hanju begins playing the VR MMORPG New World Online under the name Maple. Not wanting to get hurt, Maple opts to be a shield user with maxed out defense stats, continuing to put every status point she earns into increasing only her defense level. As a result, she moves at a crawl and cannot cast spells. What she gets in return is the skill Absolute Defense, and from that single broken foundation, she begins snowballing into something the game's developers genuinely cannot stop. She eats dungeon bosses, transforms into a demon, and eventually becomes a walking raid event that entire guilds cannot defeat. Bofuri is the lightest entry on this list, and also one of the most purely fun. Seeing the never-ending progression of Maple becoming more and more overpowered is a wholesome experience. Aided by the fact that she is not an edgy protagonist, but instead a anime girl doing cute things who somehow along the way becomes a god. This is an expressive and hilariously outlandish take on the video game genre that uses its broken protagonist to parody everything anime gaming shows take too seriously. Silverlink keeps the world visually rich and warm throughout, and the result is an overpowered MC story that feels like a reward, not a threat. Breaking into our top 3 at number 3, suppose a kid from the Last Dungeon boonies moved to a starter town. Lloyd Belladonna grew up in Kunlun, a village located beside the infamous Last Dungeon, a place where monsters of unimaginable strength reside and serve as hunting grounds for Kunlun residents. Despite being the weakest person in that village, Lloyd is still hundreds of times stronger than anyone in the outside world. He does not know this. He leaves home to pursue his dream of becoming a soldier, enrolling in a military academy in the kingdom of Azami, blissfully convinced he is a helpless amateur who needs to work harder. The anime adaptation by Lydon Films aired from January to March 2021. The setup here is deceptively clever. Lloyd is essentially One Punch Man filtered through a cheerful, cooking-obsessed puppy, yet his obliviousness is what makes every encounter land. He sprinted across the entire continent in just a couple of days and considered the ferocious monsters he encountered along the way to be everyday woodland critters. The comedy is built entirely on the gap between how Lloyd sees himself and what everyone around him is witnessing in sheer horror. It is warm, genuinely funny, and the overpowered mechanics serve character dynamics rather than spectacle. If you want an OPMC wrapped in charm and situational irony, this show delivers. Closing in on the top two at number 2, Unlimited Fafnir. The story takes place in a world where supernatural monsters known as dragons caused widespread destruction 25 years ago and then mysteriously vanished. Shortly afterward, girls born with abilities similar to the dragon's powers, called Ds, began to appear. These girls attend the Island Academy Midgar to hone their dark matter manipulation into weapons. The secret existence of the only male D in the world, Yu Mononobe, gets thrown into the light, and he is forcibly enrolled into the academy, where he reunites with his adoptive sister Mitsuki and must help battle returning dragons while uncovering what his existence truly means. The anime television series adaptation by Diomedia aired from January to March 2015. Yu is not just the only male D. He is also the former captain of an elite military assassination unit called Sleipnir, making him a trained, lethal operative operating inside a school full of teenagers who have never seen real combat. The fantasy harem framing is intentionally misleading. Throughout the story, it is made clear that decisions must be made when a dragon attacks, forcing the characters to confront whether to eliminate a fellow D before she transforms entirely into the creature that has marked her. That moral tension underneath the action gives Unlimited Fafnir more weight than its surface appearance suggests. It rewards viewers who stay past the first episode. And finally, reigning supreme at number 1, Codebreaker. Riding the bus one day, Sakura Sakurakuji looks out the window to see people being burned alive with a blue flame as a boy her age remains unharmed, standing over the bodies. When Sakura goes to class, she discovers the new transfer student is the same boy she witnessed. She soon learns that he is Ryogami, the 6th Codebreaker, a special type of assassin with strange abilities and a member of a secret government organization. Ray operates by a single principle: use evil against evil. His left hand can ignite anything it touches into blue flames, and his power scales far beyond what any of his Codebreaker predecessors can manage. The anime was produced by Kinema Citrus and broadcast from October to December 2012. Codebreaker earns the top spot because it wraps its overpowered MC in genuine moral friction. Ray is not a hero celebrating his power. He is a weapon questioning whether the hand holding him should exist. When he does his work for Eden, he completely transforms into a ruthless killer who only eliminates what he deems evil. Despite claiming not to care about people, he has shown signs that he does, and throughout the story, he slowly changes and becomes much closer with others, thanks to Sakura. That character arc, cold, devastating power cracking open to reveal something human underneath, is what separates Codebreaker from every other entry on this list. The power fantasy here has consequences, and that is what makes it unforgettable. 6 overpowered protagonists, 6 completely different reasons to watch. The real question is not who is strongest, it is whose power actually means something to the story.